did you know that when we talk about the 7 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, did you know that the ancient people actually had an intelligent and coherent way of explaining that? And we call that a Hermetic knowledge, Hermetic science, that it wasn't just made up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which because every day of the week relates to a different planetary energy. So I just thought I would like to explain the Chaldean order of the planets, and this is coming from this diagram, appeared in a little book of coincidence by John Martineau, one of my favourite books of all time, if you want to learn astrology and astronomy. And we're going to start off with this heptagram because hepta means 7, and we're going to analyse not just the planets but the metals that are associated to the planets and how we created the origin of the 7 days of the week. So let's start off with this first one here. We're going to start with the moon. So I've divided my circle into 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, for the 7 planets. So we're going to start with the moon. And I'm going to start from this point here. And as I go to the next side of the heptagon, this is a heptagon versus a heptagram. When we look at the sides, we're looking at the increasing, not just the speed of the planet. So from Earth here, this is Earth. So from the central viewpoint or stance of Earth, we see that the moon travels the fastest as we observe it every night. Then the next fastest planet, I'll put an arrow here, is called Mercury. That's its symbol. Then the next fastest planet and also closest to Earth is Venus. So these are also about how close these are planets to the Sun. And then the next one is, we're going this way to the Sun, the increasing speeds. And then we go to Mars. And then we go to Jupiter. And then we go to Saturn. As you know, Saturn is considered, of the 7 visible planets, Saturn is considered the one that's furthest away from us. So we went from that which is closest all the way around to that which is furthest. So that's interesting. We'll just say that that's a good thing. Did you know that the distance of the planets from the Sun and their speeds increase in a heptagonal order? But this is the one that I particularly like, is why do we always go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? So I'm going to start again with the moon. And just in a nutshell, what you're going to get here, I'll just say it in French just to show off my French. This is the pathway of Monday. Lundi for the moon is Monday, moon day, or Monday, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, and the Sunday, the final day, dimanche. So these are the 7 days of the week done in the French, because this appeared in an old French manuscript. So let me explain that in English. We start with Monday, lundi, the moon, and we're going to travel all the way across to mardi, or Mars. So we're going from moon to Mars. And this order here, see how we went Sun, Mars, Jupiter, same order, Sun, Mars, Jupiter. We've obeyed the same order here, over here, and also even down here. So it's the same order, but this time it's how we connect the planetary energies. So we go from moon Monday, mardi is Tuesday, and then we come all the way across here to Wednesday, which is called mercredi. But in the old Norse times, Mercury was known as Wotan. Maybe Wednesday came from the Wotan day. So these is going way back to the Vikings days. And then from Wednesday we go to Thursday, which is for Jupiter, the god of Thor. So Thor day gave us the Thursday. So it's interesting, the antiquity of this knowledge is not just Hermetic. This is going way back to the Norse and Viking days. And then from Thursday we go all the way to Friday, which is Venus. And her element is copper, and she burns with a green flame. There's a lot of science to this. But her name in the Norse days was called Freya. So Freya day became the Friday. And then from the Friday, we go right down. We're creating a heptagram. Heptagon, heptagram is in the star So that was samedi. So in French, this was samedi, which we call Saturday or Saturn Day. So that's the Saturn symbol. Saturn Day became Saturday. And then this is the memory of the planets imbued into our daily understanding of the cycles of life. And then the final one, to complete the heptagram, we go up to the sun here, which is Sunday, for the sun. And so we go sun, but we normally start the week, we go Sunday, Monday, and see how the energy just keeps flowing in the heptagram. I just thought that was really interesting bit of knowledge. Again, thanks to Keith Critchlow. This was from in one of his books. I think he wrote an amazing book called Time Stands Still. I love the work of Keith Critchlow. He was a great British architect. He built temples in India and gave us a lot of the sacred geometry. So he's one of my mentors. He's gone, and I wanted to do this to honour Keith Critchlow. And the last but not least, again, we've got the same order: Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Sun, Mars, so same order of the 7 planets. Now this one's a bit more scientific, because this is all about the atomic weights. And it's also the same with all the atomic numbers. So the atomic numbers, I've given all the atomic numbers. I actually might sit down for this so I can read it. So we're going to start again. We're going to start from Mars. We're looking at what's called the atomic numbers. So iron, Mars is the metal for Mars is iron, Fe, and its atomic number is 26. So that's the smallest number, because as we go to the next one, copper, which is 29. So I might write these down. So iron is 26. We go across here to copper, which is 29. But you can also look at all the atomic weights. This is atomic number, but I checked all the atomic weights, and again, they're in an increasing order. So then from copper, we go to silver. Now in the book, they put silver, Ag, as 49. In both books that I've studied, Keith Critchlow, I think it's a typo error, but it's not actually 49, it's 47. I checked the periodic table of elements. So silver is 47, and its atomic mass, just for your information, the atomic mass of silver is 108. So that's another chart, but we're not looking at atomic mass, we're looking at atomic number. And then from silver we go to tin. So the metal for Jupiter here is tin, and it's I think it's called Sn for tin. So its number is 50. So you can see how all the numbers 26, 29, 47, 50, and a few more to go. From tin we go to gold, and gold is ruled by, of course, the sun. It's a sun element. Everyone's desperate to have this solarized sun gold energy, and its number is 79. See how the number's increasing? And then from gold we go to Mercury. So here's Mercury, and its number's increasing to 80. And the final one, we're going to Saturn. Now Saturn, most people know Saturn as PB in the periodic, and lead is really heavy. It's so heavy, the number here, it's 82. So you can see that by following the heptagram and back to where we started from the lowest to the highest number, we traced an unusual heptagram. So look at this star pattern here. It's different from that star pattern here. We're joining every second. Here we're connecting every point is adjacent, but here we're connecting every second point, and formed another unusual heptagram. And on the same diagram, just to conclude, it's like, by the way, did you know that on the same chart of information, there's another sequence for what's called electrical conductivity. Now, I don't have the figures for that, but just trusting that this information is correct, Keith Critchlow was saying that if you started from lead and you went to the electrical conductivity increases from iron to copper to silver to tin, etc., in the same order. And I'd like to see the charts of that. But I just wanted you to appreciate not so much the science of this, that astrology is the geometry of the planets, and that's why they say that when you were born, where the planets were in your chart are a memory of the cosmic information. It's kind of like a cosmic imprint, and that you are an individual mandala, you're an individual self, but somehow we're connected to a greater picture, to a greater science, to a greater law of the cosmos. And that's why, just by explaining the origin of something that we take for granted, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, is that the ancient people studied the cycles within the cycles, the wheels within the wheels. And when we read the Bible stories, we read about Ezekiel, who had visions of the celestial and the terrestrial, of the wheels within the wheels. So this is a beautiful journey to look at the balance between astrology and astronomy. Whether or not one is a science and one is a pseudoscience, you need to inquire with yourself. So knowledge is power. The more we study this ancient knowledge, the more that we come back to the mandala of ourself.